I'm going to talk about little about my career aspects in physics, and I'll talk about my experience and to all those grooming and all BSc students. So these are our like future students. So obviously, welcome to the physics world, the world of imagination, world of creativity. You will explore a lot. You will be enthusiased a lot. You will be fascinated by physics a lot. So it's a definite welcome for you. And physics is something that everyone likes to do because everything you see around it is almost, I think, every mechanism has some physics in it. Today we know that Neeraj Chopra has won gold medal, so that is javelin throw. So there is one physics good mechanism, that is that we call it as that is projectional motion. So
Projectile.
you know how to all those physics training, all those things, everywhere it is physics. So I'll start my session.
ଯାହା ଗୋଟେ
So before I
ପିପିଟି
go into
ବନେଇଛି
my topic and
ଭଲ
all, I'll
କରିଛି
discuss.
ମାନେ ସିରିୟସ୍
So
ଅଛି
I
ପିଲାଟା
want
ନା
all of you to question yourself, question everyone, because I think for me, no question can be wrong or dumb or anything, but the answers can be. How? Because any questions, somebody actually, it was my experience. So I was in a conference. So a professor asked a question to some presenter, and he said like it is one of the silly questions. And the professor replied that no questions can be silly or wrong, but the answers can. That's where I get this motivation or thing. You have to ask every time, whenever there is a doubt or any questions in your mind, you have to answer, you have to ask until you get a solution. Sometimes what will happen, if you don't question yourself, so what happens? You sometimes you will feel that you got everything. Even Einstein or any greats of physics, Richard Feynman, everyone has that ability to ask someone. Whenever you ask someone, you create a what you call it. You create a stimuli in your brain. It will activate your brain. So every time, ask many questions, as many as possible. And one more thing, you are new to this physics journey. Some might think it will be very difficult. Some might think it is very, very impossible or something. There is no jobs and all. You will see many ads that there is no jobs for physics students and all. You will get demotivated. But one thing I will tell you that it's a journey. It's not a destination. Physics is not a destination. You can't reach a goal there. You just need to focus, like you have to enjoy yourself while doing physics. When you see just see everywhere you are around, just see the mechanism. Once you know the mechanism, you will understand the concepts, and once you understand the concept, you will enjoy like anything. So that's what my motto is: love your journey without worrying about destiny. So yeah. So why we study physics and a lot? There is a lot. Physics is the king of the science. Physics is the what you call diamond of science. Or why physics is so celebrated across the globe? Why physics is the basic knowledge? Because physics has that answers. It has answers to every possible questions in the universe. It has not a single question is unanswered by the physics. That's why it is called the fundamental study of nature. Whenever you study the fundamental nature, it is called physics, nothing else. Simple thing, just remember. Okay, let's give an example. So you are walking through some motion, you are colliding a ball, cricket bats, hockey sticks, everywhere you will see the physics. The mechanism behind everything is physics. You see a star, you are interested in which star it is, how it is far apart and all. That is astrophysics. That is somehow kind of thing. So physics has different branches, you can see. So basically, if you see, there are two broad categories. There are one is called classical way of, classical way, and there is called modern way. Actually, you can divide physics into four dimensions. One is called big, and motion is very fast. One is big, motion is very slow. One is very small, but motion is very fast. And one more domain is small, but the motion is slow. So there are basically four domains of physics in particular world. but broadly we can divide classical or modern. Like modern, we can say quantum physics, atomic physics. These things come into mind in the modern century as introduction. That's why it's called modern physics. Classical mechanics, you know that from Newton's onwards, UIT has been there. All this thermodynamics, optics, these are called classical physics. These are classic physics that has been used for years and ages, from 1600 to till now it has been going on. So classical is like classic. So it is like big particles, I mean big particles, and it is moving with the average speed more than some, it is having some more speed. So it is called classical. Modern, when you go to modern physics or anything, it will be subatomic particles or atomic particles. There you will see this quantum physics, atomic physics, nuclear physics, molecular physics come into the play. So you can broadly describe all those things like this, but we have different branches of physics. Physics, we can define physics because for me, anything that we can answer to the nature of the study, it is called physics. Maybe it can be done through classical, maybe it can done through quantum. Anything, any events we see that if we can explain through the mechanism, that is, we can say it's physics. So right after you are all are in BSc, so what are the career options you have in after this BSc that I have classified like this? Basically, most of the students will go for BSc after MSc and then PhD. That is the one-way line for every most of the students, because when you are love with some subject, you will go beyond some reach. There is no beyond. When you love some subject or you know the mechanism how it is going on, you will explore all the way possible. So these are some career options that I have listed. One is called MSc, you know. Then integrated PhD, that is MSc plus PhD, that is, and one more is like the lab assistant or teaching assistant, that is done after BSc. You can apply anywhere in the universities or in colleges. Or then TGT is called after you have to do a BA and then you can apply in the high school examination and all. And there is one more that is called scientific assistant. You can try always these things: scientific assistant, scientific officers. These are very very good posts. So these are the five career options that I have listed after this you can do. There are so many options after that, but most probably when you are in love with physics, you have to go for MSc or MS or any research oriented topics. Because when you particularly interested by some particular phenomena, you can really deeply study, then you will go for this. So you should have this passion and obviously interest. Without interest, you can go for the MSc and all. It takes a lot of guts to do all those things, because sometimes you feel like that these clients are very not animated jobs like engineering and medical. They will be like celebrated, but these are very silent jobs. But yes, there are. I can assure that if you do with your lots of passion and determination, you can achieve a lot of things. That you can really enjoy yourself, your life. That these things I have achieved. So yeah, you can do. These are some of the entrances I listed for MSc admission. Most of you know, so I'll just count it as like and I'll just go through it. So one is JAM. I think all of you are going through this JAM and dual degree entrances. So basically, JAM is meant for IITs, and it is done for only, to do MSc in IITs. And for that, you need to clear JAM with a very good rank. And JAM is somehow you'll find very, very difficult. But once you start proper preparation and all, you will definitely can do a lot better in this respect, in this regard. Dual degree is something I think most of you don't know. Dual degree is something like that you will be MSc and then after PhD. So you can convert PhD from MSc. That is called dual degree. So MSc 1 year, then 4 year PhD or 5 year PhD. That is dual degree. Why is it beneficial? One thing, 1 year you can I mean, limit yourself to PhD. PhD is generally 5 years. So MSc and PhD, if you combine, it will be around 5 years. So if you get the dual degree itself, it's a very good achievement because you have gone through all those courses, and plus if you are having some project, let's say you start in MS, what you do, usually you will do some project work. So if you extend to its PhD, you can get, I mean, you can get good results and all. So you can try for this. This dual degree is very, very good. So it will save your 1 year of precious. And then for say state entrances, we have common PG entrance. Now before and all, it was like different university. You will take different exams like Utkal University or DU. I mean, I'm sorry, IFM University. They are different universities nowadays. Odisha has introduced this common entrance test. That is, I think, very good because on the rank basis, you have to select different types of university, and once you get the admission, for MSc, I think Utkal will be the number one priority. You should try because that university has been India's one of the best universities, and you must try Utkal University because it has very good professors. It has a legacy, you can say, and you can. There is a group in Utkal. Actually, what happens? You are studied in all those in groups. They will help you. The professor will help you for the better achievement. So Utkal, Revensa, and then FM, then third and fourth will be North Odisha. These are some of the ranks you can achieve. I mean, you can get. And then CUCD for Central University admission. If you get, it is very good because I'll tell you what is the benefit for the admitting into CUCD or Central University. There are basically more. I mean, I didn't calculate how many Central University we are there. I think there are more, but in Odisha I don't have Central University. That is in physics you don't have. Central Jharkhand, Central University of Hyderabad. Hyderabad is a very good university. You have to definitely try for EOH and University of Hyderabad. It is India's one of the finest institute of eminence also. And there are the Central University of Punjab, Haryana, Central University of Jammu Kashmir, and there are IITs, NITs here, JAM and this. So next is like the individual university they will do like BHU, Banaras Hindu University, DU Delhi University, JNU Jawaharlal Nehru University, PU Punjab, I mean Pondicherry University. These four universities are very good in MSc physics. You will get proper guidance, proper pathway. You will get a proper problem to define in the next chapter of your life. Once you do in all this, I think if you do all those things, you can get also foreign PhD and all. There is a very good chance doing foreign PhD under getting this job because you will get a very good recommendation letter. Because in foreign, what happens? You need a very good recommendation letter to get admitted in PhD. So you try for this. Definitely, it is one of the best universities in India, BHU, DU, JNU, and Pondicherry universities. These things you must try. And the last one is like integrated PhD entrance. I mean, that is through JEST. I think most of you know this JEST is, it is tough for BSc. It is not easy. That is, once you go through the JEST exam. But I'll tell you one of the secrets of the JEST. You have to be very thorough in quantum mechanics. Quantum, classical, mathematical, one more is electromagnetic. These four subjects will define your JEST. No, nothing more. They are not. They will not question about atomic and molecular. But these four are very, very important. You remember classical, mathematical, quantum, and electromagnetic. They are the basic in physics, and these are very, very important for. I mean, get through JEST. And JEST, I think you need to practice a lot of things for that. You need to practice previous year questions for that, and TI for problems practice. You saw the solution. First you see the solution, then you practice, then you will get through all of those things. And these are the entrances. There are more entrances. These are the common entrances that you can give. I have given JAM, CUCT, BHU, DU, JNU, and Pondicherry University. JEST also are given in the BSc times. So I'll share my experience in the BSc times. So BSc, it was like we are not acquainted with so many problems. we know the theory, but we are not acquainted with much problems. I think the problem we are lacking is that we fear a lot about problems. When you see the problems we can solve, because in Newton and mechanics, we know all those things in Newton mechanics how to solve and all. But when you get to the classical mechanics, there are so many terms, new names, so it confuses us. But whenever you have to start very little step. Once you start doing the problems, you will kill the confidence. So my suggestion will be do lots of problems, at least 2 3 problems a day. Share with your friends. Whenever you share with your friends, you are not actually when you are discussing something with your friends, what happens, you are experiencing something else. He will give you some inputs, you will give some inputs. So when there are so many inputs, something good will happen. So you have to discuss a lot of things with your friends, and you'll get lots of inputs in there. Okay, I'll go after this. What are the career options after MSc? So MSc is basically Master in Science. So after that is you'll get the highest degree, that is PhD. That is the highest degree one can get from any university. That is the PhD. After that, so many things are there, but this is the highest degree you can get in physics. Is PhD. This is the what you can say. PhD is it's like a 5 year journey. It's a long year journey. Many of you might be get frustrated. Many of you get distracted and all. It's not easy, but yes, when you follow something and when you enjoy your journey, I said before, when you enjoy your journey than your destination, you will love your PhD and all. So PhD is, I think, it is the highest degree, and it should be the highest because it is that of great determination and your passion for the subject. And there also these I'll tell you how to get through this PhD, what is the process, how is the interview. I'll tell you. So ONGC geophysicist, this is through GATE, and you have to get a very good rank, like something 200, sometimes 100. There are 2 or 3 posts in geophysicists, but yes, that are very good job. I think the primary salary will be around 70,000, around that. The work is very not very hectic job. You have to get through this geology little bit. You have to study a little bit about geology, then you can get. But yes, you have to get a good rank, at least 200 for generals, and any other batches it will be maximum 600. So 200 is definitely for ONGC. ONGC, if you get, it will be like one of the life securing jobs you can say. And this is PGT. This is done for 12th, 11th and 12th student. You will teach them PGT, and it is for, I think you can teach them in DAV schools and all those private schools, English medium schools, and in also central schools, all those schools or ecology school, central other schools. These are things you, and the salary is very decent, 50 to 55,000. All those things comes in mind. And scientific assistant, scientific officer, there are every institutes like what I can say. ISRO is there. Okay, ISRO is one of the India's biggest and India's only one space launching agency, and you can get a scientific officer C or scientific assistant there. You just need to get a good get rank. I said na, these are things get career options are fancy. All of these requires a get good rank in GATE and JEST or anything. That are the 3 basic examinations I will talk in the later. So scientific officer, scientific assistant, what is the purpose, what is the work? You have to verify all those things. Like let's say for ISRO, I will tell what is the job status and what you need to do. So let's say there are different types of rocket propellants. So you have to verify which metal will be the best, what is the combustion rate. So these things you have to calculate, you have to give the data to the scientific team, and all those things, how to process all those things, material thing. So basically material thing and all those verification you have to do. What is the thermal expansion, what is the Young's modulus value. These things you have to keep in your mind, you have to take a data, how to improvise your things, how can you more make it more flexible, more transparent or more durability. These things you have to do in the ISRO. Next thing is like radiology. It is in there is a separate form. BARC is for PhD. Also there is for radiology. Sorry. Okay. So radiology, basically what you need to do. So there's an entrance will be there in BARC. You have to get through it after MSc only. You have to apply for the radiology. Very the questions will be very not tough compared to if you see the exam pattern or exam difficulty level. First one will be CSNA, first very toughest. Second one will be GATE, and JST will be in between that. So bar questions will be easy. It's not difficult, but yes, there is interview for that radiology. So you have to go through these processes to get radiology. What is the job status now? Okay, radiology will be there will be 2 year course in radiology. So once you go through all those courses, you have to complete. Once you complete the course, you will be appointed in anywhere, any cancer hospitals or anywhere. There that requires a special radiology officer. You see in the AIMS there are radiology officer. There are so many cancer hospitals in our country. So you can apply there. Also, BARC helps you to get appointed anywhere the cancer centers. So these are the basically these are PhD. Apart from PhD, all are you can say job. A PhD after PhD, there is so many job opportunities. I will tell. After PhD, you can go for industry. So in industry, as I said, it will be your scientific officer you can get in any industry, or you can get what you can say a part-time researcher or a full-time researcher or scientific scientist A, B, C, like that you can do in PhD after PhD. Also, if you want to go for academia, in after let's say you have typical interest in to teach the students and all, you can go for assistant professor. That is the basic common line. Generally, what people will do, BSc, MSc, PhD, assistant professor. Actually, after PhD, there need to some people will do some project work in different labs and all. That is called postdoctoral position. So that is called postdoc. That will be around 1 year, 2 years. You have to find a job in between that. Yeah, otherwise, it will be very hectic. But yes, PhD is one of the toughest course, and it requires a lot of grit and determination. But yes, it is possible once you follow your passion and interest. Once you enjoy your journey, don't compare your journey to among others. I mean, follow your journey, you'll get all those things. Okay. So these are basically entrances for the PhD admission. So one is like CSNET, as you know, that will be conducted by CSIR, and also now I think UGC also conducting. CSIR, UGC, both are conducting under NTA, National Testing Agency. So these are actually happening twice in a year. The results will come out in a month or 2 months. So you have to apply. Basically, PhD admission also there are two semester admissions. One is called autumn, one is called fall admission. Autumn admission means around July or August, and fall admission means around December, January. That phase there are two sessions for PhD admissions you can get. But most probably, remember, July session will be more students they will take and compared to December batch. So GATE, that is once in a year, but yes, very important, very important for any job. I said before, like GATE is very important for that. GATE questions. Okay, now the question of difficulty, if you ask me, the first one will be CSNA, second one will be JEST, third one will be GATE. GATE questions are easy. That will be one liner or two liner. But yes, the thing is that you have to get correctly, and speed also is required for GATE. In CSNA, there is some qualifying marks. You have to get through it. Then you will be qualified for JRF. There are two terms for CSI. That is called CSR JRF, that is called Junior Research Fellow, and one is called LS, that is called Lectureship. So what is the benefit of JRF? Let's say you didn't get any good rank, and but you got JRF. So you can, let's say you didn't get any other IITs or anywhere or any IITs. You want to take admissions. and any universities. Let's say you have a very good university, you know, there you can take admission, but they don't have funds. So all these PhD requires funds because it is research. So all these requires funds. So there are basically three types of funds now. One is called issued funding, that is done for many IITs, IJRs, or any central institute. They'll give, that is called issued funding. Institute will give you the money. Second one is called what you can call, that is Prime Minister Fellowship. It is a new fellowship, but it is very interesting, very enthusiastic, because the salary is around 70,000 for the past 2 years and 80,000 for the last 3 years. So it is actually for because you know many of the PhD students, many of the MSc students are going out for the foreign PhD. So for to acquire the talent in our country, this is the new scheme. It is called PMRF, that is called Prime Minister Research Fellowship. It is one of the biggest fellowship in India, and it is one of the prestige also. Only 2,000 people in a year, they will some 100 or 200 people will get. So it is one of the prestigious fellowship. And apart from that, one more is there, that is called project fellowship. So basically, issued funding, and second one is the PMRF, or third one is our project fellowship, and one more is called self fellowship. That means your fellowship. And this CSIR JRF, it is called self fellowship. That means it is your right. Once you, I mean, qualify in CSIR JRF, you are eligible for getting JRF in any university. That not to be IIT or anywhere. You can get your typical university or any university you can choose, and you can get admission there. So it is a self fellowship CSIR JRF. Once you click, you'll be like secured, like I have the funding, I can go anywhere, but you have to contact the guide and all. That's it. So just once in a year, that is for PhD, and also as I told, it is called also for integrated PhD. Just mostly research institute will take. One is ARIES is there in Himachal Pradesh, and there are BARC also will take for JEST, but you have to get very good rank. In JEST, you need something 200 in IOP, Institute of Physics in Bhubaneswar is there, na? So you have to get 200 rank in JEST or GATE rank 200. So you have to, even these are very good ranks, you have to get 200 below than that, then you will get a proper, I mean, good admission in good institutes. Next one is like BARC. BARC, that is called Bhabha Atomic Research Center, and TAIFR is Tata Institute of Fundamental Research Studies. So both these, BARC is government funded, DI it comes under Department of Atomic Energy, and TIFR is it's a private institution, but it is India's one of the prestigious institutions. It is founded by Tata Institution, and it is, I think, probably you will see it, India's, not only India's, it is one of the global best university or research centers in TIFR. So BARC, basically what happens in BARC, basically there are three departments. One is called one is called nuclear physics and atomic physics. Other is called modern physics, and other is called this classical mechanics and quantum chaos and all. That is other. TIFR also like that. There are interdisciplinary studies, one center in Bangalore. There is mathematical institute also in, I think, in Bangalore, Hyderabad, and one more is in Mumbai. So three TIFR centers. BARC, I think, has two centers. One is Mumbai, another is in Kalpak. So there are two centers. So these are the basic PhD entrances that everyone will give. Apart from that, there are state university entrances. Also, what you can say, there are central university entrances, University of Hyderabad or University of Chandigarh. Everywhere they will conduct DU is there, JNU is there. So these things are there. These are common entrances. You have to click at least one. You have to click. You have to qualify GATE with a very good rank, at least less than 1,000 for IITs, in good IITs, old IITs. Just you have to get more less than 200, or that you'll get in good IITs or in IITs or in research institutes you'll get. CSIR JRF you get, that is the end. I mean, you have fellowship, that is, you can get any other admission, just you need to guide contains, I mean guide permission is required. That's it. And next thing, okay, these are for entrances now. So list of institutes where you can do PhDs. Uh, IITs, if you come into mind, these are technology institutes. But yes, there are lots of research going on in IIT. There are 23 IITs now. It has been expanded. New IITs are come. But old IITs, I think, if you see the NRF ranking, Madras, Bombay, Delhi, Kanpur, Kharagpur. These are the very good 5 or 6 IITs. New emerging IITs, if you see, there are Indore, Hyderabad, Bhubaneswar, and these are few names I am telling. Patna is there. These are the emerging IITs, means they are getting very good rank. In IIT Indore, there is very good facilities. You will see all those facilities are there. In old IITs and new IITs, what is the differences? In old IITs, there all the facilities are there, so don't need to worry about the getting characterization or all different experimental things. And in new IITs, the problem might happen. There are new young guides, so they might feel some nervousness during your PhD. So guide is very important for your PhD. But yes, you can do in 23 number of IIT. How to get through it? The process is simple. You have to get a good rank, get good rank under 1,000 or even 2,000 is also fine. You get into new IITs, and then net is there. If net JRF is there, then it is good. Any you can do anywhere, and just but the priority is maximum through GATE, because IIT will fund you. So my suggestion is that you go through GATE in IIT. When you are going through IITs, you have to go through GATE, because sometimes what problem in JRF there might be some problem. Like let's say the funding is like, let's say, around 31,000 you are getting for 2 years, then 35,000 for 3 years. That is the funding. I mean, GATE or just anywhere they will give, institute will give you, or the HRD will, MHRD will give you. And the thing is that sometimes what happens in NET or JRF, they delay your payment for something 3 or 4 months. But they will give you, that will be in a bulk amount. But yes, there will be some disturbances. But in GATE, you will go through very nicely, because I am through GATE, so I didn't. I mean, this pandemic is and all. They never stopped our payments and all. They never stopped our salaries. So it will be very flow, very nice from my during this pandemic. There are research institutes, so many. Actually, I listed few of them. One is IIC, world's #1 research institute, IIC. If you get admission, get a good guide, your future is almost secure. Just need to get through all those details. You have to focus a little bit. But yes, IIC is India's, not only India's, world's #1 institute. Then comes Niger, IGER, IOP, BARC, ARIES, IUCA, RRI. These are all research institutes. You will find there are so many research institutes in India. If you search in Google, you will find all those things. Niger, Niger is in Bhubaneswar. I think Niger is the only one Niger in India, that is Bhubaneswar. IGER, there are so many IGER, but Pune is #1. Kolkata is second. There are two more, I think. One is now in Berhampur, and that is a new IGER, but yes, it is good. IOP, Institute of Physics, that is in Bhubaneswar, and it is one of the biggest, or what you can say, it is specialized high energy department, or they are so good. There are so many good professors are there. And there is not TIFR, this is TIFR. I made a mistake there. So it is TFR. And there is BARC, as I said. There is ARIES, that is in Himachal Pradesh. In IUCA is there, that is it is for astronomy. It is in Bengaluru. And this RRI, it is called Raman Research Institute. That is founded by Raman, and it is India's one of the leading research institute. These research institute, but the problem is that they will give priority to NET students. Those who have JRF, they will give priority because they have don't have this much funding. And like IITs are very good funding. So mostly they will take in NET, then get they will take definitely NET, but you have to get a very good rank. Okay, I'll tell you my experience in RRI. I have given, okay, I'll give my in IIT Madras. I've given my interview. I have went and to Niger. I've given interview in RRI. But, these things, Either Kolkata. Also, I went through this interview. But the interview is tough. Interview will be very, very tough. You have to very secure. But the thing is that when your basic is strong, na, you don't need to worry about. They will guide you like that. Their interviews are very, very soothing. You can say they will not disturb you. They will follow you. They will not. They will how to They will comfortable you. They will first compare you. Then they will ask the questions. So no need to worry about the questions and answers. You just need to go through very, very little. Then you can achieve. It's not a very difficult task. You go into the research institute and get the admission. Sometimes people say that they will ask very tough questions. No, it's a very, very, illusion or very, very remote you can see. They don't ask tough questions. They ask very, very simple questions, but basic questions. Let's say they asked me in RRA what they asked. They asked me, let's say you assume a ball, and it is simple. How to determine the value of g? That is the acceleration due to gravity. You have to set up experiment. Each details you have to take. So I told like simple pendulum is there. That is so how many meter you can take. What is the length details you can take? Or is there any tensile stress? So these are not tough questions. These are some basic questions you need to clarity. So what they need from you, they need clarity that this person know about these things. That they don't need your fancy answers and all, like quantum mechanics and all. These are basic questions. So it is like one of the in plus two students they can answer like, but you have to understand little. The thing is that when you go through the process, when you love your process, you will get the results ultimately. So you don't need to worry about all those questions, very tough questions they answer. No, it is easy. Once you go through the process, you'll get. Also there are national laboratories like TSL lab is there, NPL National Physics Laboratory is there, Physics Review, sorry, PRL is there in Ahmedabad, that is Plasma Research Laboratory in Ahmedabad. There are so many laboratories also you can apply for PhD. And but yes, you have to, when you are going through national laboratories, you have to get through CSNA. Mostly they will go through the CSNA because they will ask for the funding from the CSNA. Also, there are central universities and state universities. You have to go through their particular entrance. You have to clear, then you will get admission. Okay, one more thing I'll mention in IITs what you need to do. So even if you qualify GATE with a very good rank, you will not be admitted. It is very, not easily. You have to go through the written test once, because nowadays pandemic is there, so they are not conducting the written test. But yes, there is written test one. Then you have to go through the interview. Then you will get selected in IITs. Okay, these are the things. These are the issues where you can do PhDs. Okay, so how to prepare for the entrances? Lots of my friends, lots of my colleagues, lots of my, they have doubt, juniors, they will ask questions like this. Even when I was in your age, I didn't have a clue how to prepare. I was so sick of problems. I was very afraid of problems. I didn't, even when I see the problems, I will not do the problem. I'll leave it immediately. I'll do only the theoretical part. So it's not a very amazing thing, but yes, but the thing is that when you set yourself a target, so you will get something. So anyone knows who is this person? I want to. You can unmute.
Sir, Richard Feynman.
Yeah. So Professor Richard Feynman, he is one of my favorite physicists. So why he is so famous? Is there something he told or anything new thing he discovered? Anyone knows? There is something called Feynman diagram. How many of you know Feynman diagram, the interaction and all? Okay, okay. You will study in MSc. I think there are things and in MSc interaction how I mean gluons or quarks are interacting. These things are described by Feynman, but he's not famous for that. I'll tell you why he's famous. The way he teaches, it is you go to his lecture theater. There are so many lectures videos in his YouTube. You see one of his lecture, you'll feel like why is he the best? The way he explains. So the thing is that whenever you want to master something or whenever you want to achieve something or to listen or you want to do something or understand something, you have to teach. The one thing, best thing, I came into IIT, I was not doing any teaching before that. I was teaching with some plus two guys, but I have not taught any other field, physics guys. So in IITs, what they do, they will give you the fellowship, but not that easy. They will give you some assignments, like it's called teaching assistant or research assistant. So what you need to do, you have to give a lecture on some particular topic, or you have to solve some problems. You have to get a lecture videos, or you have to do something experiment, or you have to handle some experiments. It's called part of our duty. It's called key duty, or it's called a teaching assistant or research assistant duty. So what I learned in IIT, I was when I went to, it was my first class. So I was given a tutorial on, so I need to solve the problems, and I was very afraid because I know these are IIT young guys, BTech guys. They come from, IIT entrances. These are very topical. They will ask the questions. But when I reached that stage, it was like some 90 students are there. I was in the blackboard. I felt like, okay, this is the time. I need to step it up. So when I started, lecturing them, so it was very like I was feeling something magic. So I was like, it was very what I can say. It is sometimes it will be uncomfortable, but once you go through it, once you read all those topics, once you hear someone, so you understand the concept. So my thing is that whenever you want to do something, the best thing you will do something is teach or to tell someone that this is the thing. Then you realize the importance of that particular topic. So these are my strategy. It might not be perfect. It is not that you need to follow all these things. These are the things I have done. It's not that you need to follow. This is your life. You need to think how to do and all. So first thing, you need to set a target. When there is no target, you will feel like you are going in very randomly. So what is your aim? First need to find. Whether you want to follow physics or anywhere, let's say you have interest in music or something, you follow that. Never apart from that you can do anything. So yes, but when you set a target, what you want to achieve, then you will share something like, okay, these things I need to achieve. Jam or okay, how many what is the jam cutoff? What is the thing I can do? I can improvise. You have to tell yourself. These are the things you have to tell yourself. Then you can get some clarity about what you want to do. So next thing is like basic. Everyone will tell these things like start reading books and understand the concept. But the thing I'll tell, don't read a lot. Just read. Let's say you read one particular page one day. Okay. Next day, what you do? Go to a friend room or anywhere. So discuss with him. He will give you some input. Like let's discuss about quantum mechanics. Why it's so fascinating. Okay. So quantum mechanics basically what you call, it's called micro or nano level particles. So why nano is interesting? Richard Feynman also, the father of nanotechnology, he actually told the word that nano. So the thing is that when you go to the nano level, some different things scientists observe. So they are trying to, explain what is this, why is it happening, why the quantum mechanics. Why there are no quantum mechanics. Before that Bohr's model was there was no quantum mechanics. They didn't tell this integral multiple of something or quantized or confined. These terms are not there. So but they observed something different. So when you observe something different, they will like he will discuss. Some scientists will discuss. Okay, why is that? Why is it happening? And why we are getting like this result? So when you discuss your problem with someone, you will understand the problems. Until you discuss something. Let's say you want to confine yourself. Like I have understood the topic. I'll not tell anyone. That is not going to happen. That is not going to happen. Whenever you are discuss with someone, you actually realize you whatever you're saying correct or not. Let's say I'm saying something now. If I don't hear what I am saying, then what I'll do? Say okay, I am saying correct and all. It is not good. So whenever, but he will give something reply. Let's say you are not doing something good. That is called, it's not criticism, it's called discussion. So you have to discuss a lot with your friends. And one more trick I'll tell: solve at least 5 problems in a day. Until unless you get that scarcity or that fear of doing the problems. I know I get through that problems. I didn't get. So but yes, practice. When you do the problems, just see the questions. What is there? When you remove that fear, when you cross that barrier, as you know, there is called what you call quantum barrier is there, so you have to get through that. So it's like a potential wall. There is a potential wall. You have to get through that path. So you have to remove that potential wall of your fear. Then you will get there. So solve problems, at least 5 problems from the book. From the book you start. There are solved problems. You start the process doing that. Solved problems are there. Do that. Get the confidence. Then do the unsolved problems. These are the basic things everyone will tell, and these are things I also tell, because these are things, basic things. Then discuss with your friends. Maybe you think that maybe sometimes some people will think that okay, I know these problems. I'll not tell my friends. They will know. They'll get the crack. They'll crack the entrances. Don't think like us. Entrances are purely on that day. It's not about your what I can say. It's about all about your mental ability and all, and at that particular day. But it doesn't define your potential. You have lots of potential. Just believe in that you can do. But yes, discuss. Whenever you discuss, you create something magic, because when you discuss, you know what is the actual problem, why we are stopping that. Then these things are there. So next thing, like solve previous year problems. Why previous year problems are very, very important. Sometimes many people think book problems are enough. No, it's not. Why? When you see the book problems, you will get the problem concept correctly. You will get the, I mean, answers correctly. But what happens in the entrances, you will not get. Sometimes people might think, what is that happening and all, I am not getting. The thing is that when you see the previous year questions, you say see something trend. When you see the trend, what is the question, maximum question, number of questions they are asking. So you target, I said set a target. That means I want to tell that, set a particular topic. Let's say I targeted, when it was my time in PhD entrance time, I targeted 5 concepts. So 5 particular branches I choose: classical mechanics, quantum mechanics, mathematical mechanics, mathematical physics, and then our electromagnetism. One more is statistical mechanics. These 5 things I targeted. I didn't target for atomic molecular physics, electronics. You read all those things. I am not telling that you do not read, but yes, when you set yourself some, let's say, some marks, because you have to qualify also, right? So once you want to qualify, set something like 5, 6 topics. Do all those problems. Concept wise, you read everything. Concept wise, it is not problem, but target those particular 5 topics and get the things very quickly. I'm not quickly. I'm very. You have to comprehensively. You have to understand the problems. Then you go through. Start practicing. Once you start practice, so what happens? You will enhance your speed and accuracy. One thing is very, very important. Entrances. Many people think that these 3 words, it is not sufficient. It is sufficient. Very, very sufficient. You just need to focus what you need to target. Let's say, let's say there are 100 marks. So qualifying score is, let's say in JAM, very, very less. It was like 20 or 30 rank, right? But why are male not qualifying? The problem is that we are not setting the goal. When you are set the goal, let's say 30 marks. So first 30 marks you have to do very, very carefully. So once you do very carefully, then you can go for it. Accuracy is very, very important in entrance. Don't do the lots of mistakes. Actually, the problem is that one is qualifying, one is not qualifying. Is that one both are same potential, base capable. One is that one do lots of mistakes, one do touch less mistakes. You will do mistakes, no doubt in that. But yes, learn from that. Once you do the mistake, learn from that and don't do much mistakes. Less mistakes is possible. We are humans, so we will do mistakes. That's not a problem. Last one is like this is one of the things. I know you have going through all these coaching sessions. Do all those mock tests weekly ones, and you have to remember what is the score we are getting. Let's say there are actually basically two types of tests you can do. Let's say you read a particular one topic in 1 week. Let's say I read in a potential world problem in 1 week. Do all those problems. Okay. Now see the previous year questions. Okay. Start. Start. Collect all those questions and answer the questions. See how many questions you are getting. Note the score. What is the score? Next, go to second week. Next to go second topic. Okay. Let's say this time harmonic oscillator. So harmonic oscillator, these meaning, let's say you are doing something 5 problems in a week. Let's say you are doing something 30 or odd problems in a week. Now practice the previous year problem. Previous year problems, 5 questions you do. Note the score. Okay, this is the second week. To choose another topic, not from quantum or any here. Choose the topic, because when you go through these continuous phases, you will feel like something growing up. You will see the score, note the score, and grow your confidence. You will see something is happening. Okay, this thing is okay. Where are you doing the mistakes? When you identify your mistakes, you will do less mistakes. So the thing is that you have to identify, you have to observe what is the mistake you are doing, what the exactly common mistake you are doing. Remove that and be mentally strong. These entrances are not so easy, but yes, you have to prepare yourself for that. Yes, that is one mock test you have to do once in a week. Definitely you have to do, and you have to note the score. Improve accuracy and speed by doing more numbers. So that is everyone. You can understand why accuracy is important. Sometimes in JAM you will miss your qualifying score by 0.5, 0.75. That hurts a lot. In my time, what I missed in CSIR, JRF was something qualifying score was some 92 point something. So my score was some 90 point something. So I missed the mark by 1 or 2. So if I did have not done little mistakes, so I could have done. So the thing is that you have to do the less mistakes and identify your mistakes. What is the target that you have to do? Improve accuracy. I'll say not speed, because once you go through the problems regularly, you will get the speed. That will be not your goal. But improve accuracy. Do the problems, but accurate. Don't hesitate. Like, let's say you are not getting one problem. Let's say in entrance, what is your mindset? You see the problems first. So you'll be like confused. Okay, these are problems are there. How can I do and all? Don't do that. Focus on one question. Let's say very slowly you have to tell yourself in the exam, okay, this is the first question I am going to do. Start answering. If it is not possible, go to another question or try one more time. Like that. Don't see all those questions very hurriedly. Don't see. It is one of the mistakes people will do. They will see the questions, they will get, okay, these are now, okay. But you have to get through one by one question. There are so enough time. 3 hours is enough. So you have to get accurate one. Okay, these things I'll do. Okay, mark it. 1, 2, 4, 5, like that. Calculate all those things. Okay, how many marks I'm getting now? You have to get something 30 score. Let's say there are 6 or 7 questions you can get. It is around 24, 20. There are 6 more marks you have to get. Where you have to get? Okay, these don't do. I mean, blind guesses. Blind guesses are very bad, and you should not do, because this will hamper your qualifying marks and all. So don't do blind guesses. Do the questions very accurately. I mean, do the questions very accurately. It will get through. Don't worry about the time and all. Just think very calmly and composed way you do the problems. If it takes some 5-10 minutes, it doesn't matter. Once you do the problems, like let's say in test, what will do? Some players will take time, right? Then once they get the problems, they'll start it. So don't do very difficult questions. First do whatever you can do. Then go to the other difficult problems. Okay. Okay, these are things that are my strategy. But it's not like you should not follow my exact strategy. You can follow your own strategy. Everyone has different strategies. So you prepare your own strategy, what you need to do, what is your target, and what is your goal you need to achieve. And all. So once you go through it, it will be. I think you don't need to follow anyone's strategy. You can be your own strategy. Just believe in yourself that you can do. Once you start believing in yourself, you can definitely. Okay, these are books that I follow, and that I will tell that these things you need to also, because these are very basic books. Mathematical physics, I'll start with H.K. Das. It's a very, it's an Indian author. So you start, there are so many problems in mathematical physics. So you start doing that. Once you do the problems book from H.K. Das, you will feel like there are some Boas book is there, but it is, I think the problems are less. But do from problems from there, because mathematics is pure problem. So, but yes, mathematical, once you know the proper method, you will get very good scores. Vector algebra or matrix multiplication, these things, it needs to be clear. These things are very good. Eigenvalues, values, all those things you need to very clear, and these are the mark scoring opportunities. Electromagnetism, there are what is called electrostatics, electrodynamics, and electromagnetism. So these things are there. You see the previous questions, follow the pattern, how they are asking. There will be some kind of pattern. You try to observe, you will get that. Solid state physics are there. These are for concept. Charles and Kettle for concept. Puri Babar is for Indian method. Let's say you are some junior or very new to solid state physics. Start with Puri Babar, then go to Astrop Morbin for problems. Then last one is Charles Kettle. That is for only for research. So you start with Puri Babar first, then go to Astrop Morbin, then go to Charles and Kettle. Electronics is there. I think most of the problems they will ask from BJT, transistors, PN junction diode, or one more is okay, oscillators or rectifier. These things they will ask. Electronics is not difficult, but you have to get to the proper circuit diagram and all. Once you know the proper circuit diagram, you can get any problems in electronics. So it's not difficult. Quantum mechanics, these books I will highly refer, because these are problem books. So you will see lots of problem books. I mean, see the problems, start solving it. Once you know the pattern or how to solve it, you can do lots of it. And the quantum mechanics, it's the, I said now, there are 5 basic topics which are very important. So these are 5 topics: quantum, classical, statistical, and mathematical, and electronics. These are 5 topics. Apart from that, you can focus on any other topic. Let's say you want to score something 40 or around that, you can go for it. It is up to you. I will not recommend. Classical mechanics, J.C. Upadhyay is Indian author. Gold standard you don't need to study now. J.C. Upadhyay will be enough for you. I think the gold standard will be book for PhD students or more than. And that's a very complicated word. I follow J.C. Upadhyay. So statistical mechanics, R.K. Patharia. Many people will tell you that statistical mechanics are very, tough course. But the thing is that it is one of the easiest problems. You will get lots of easy problems in statistical mechanics. So let's say there are some assembles there. Assembles there. You have to find the what is called average energy. These things are formula is there. So you just need to derive that. and some derivation you will get as well. So statistical mechanics problems are very very easy. Heat and thermodynamics, this is a university physics book is there, so it's a very thick book. But yes, the thing is that heat and thermodynamics mostly, I think it is very little difficult. Sometimes it might get difficult, but yes, you can do all this. Modern physics for concept, Arthur Weiser is very good, very good. There are so many problems also there. You start solving them. Once you start solving Arthur Weiser, you will go to next level. So Arthur Weiser for basics, definitely for basics used. Atomic and Molecular Physics by Raj Kumar. These are for the MSc books, Atomic and Molecular. Mostly they will ask from where Zeeman effect, Stark effect. These questions are very common, and you can easily get. Once you start solving the problems, it is easy. These are three books are there that I called Feynman's Lectures on Physics. There are three parts. First part is classical, and from classical is there, heat and thermodynamics there. Second part is electromagnetism. Third part is quantum mechanics. So three books are there for Feynman lectures. You read all those books whenever you get the time. If this time is not there, go through all those things little by little. You'll see. And for problems, start using LEAM series. It is very very essential for LEAM PhD internship. Not for maybe JAM. It will be some kind of difficult, but yes, start practicing the problems from LEAM series. So these are basic things that I need to share. I'll be happy for any more questions. So thank you for listening carefully. SMB. Thank you.
Thanks, Raghunath, for this beautiful presentation. And I think it was a best presentation ever. And about MSc, BSc entrance, and also after PhD. And the students definitely get benefits from this session. And if any students have any questions or any queries regarding this topic, please ask. Please ask. Feel free to ask.
Yeah, please. Because I said when there are questions, definitely. Okay. You can unmute yourself and talk freely, because
yes, Devi.
Cannot,
unmute. Yes, Devi, unmute.
Hello, sir. My name is Devi Prasad Das. I am
Yes,
final year. Yes, I am in final year BSc. My aim to be a astrophysicist. So,
Okay.
what is the path to follow after BSc, which is help me to get to my dream job?
Okay. So in astrophysics, there are basically IUCAA Pune is there, IIA is there in Bangalore. So there are basically two institutes, very good institutes. IUCAA in Pune is India's #1 institute in astrophysics. Second one is the IIA, that is Indian Academy of Astrophysics, something is there. Also in RRI, there are astrophysics. So basically three institutes we can target. So when you targeting astrophysics, start reading about those books. Let's say in astrophysics, they will basically ask from you quantum mechanics, all those things like quantum mechanics, classical mechanics. You start reading and start preparing for that particular interest. Let's say you want to do well in quantum mechanics. Start reading particular books, and in astrophysics, there are lots of books, because I don't have idea in lots of. I don't have idea in astrophysics, so I can't comment on all those things. But yes, when you start preparing from your BSc stage, it will be very easy for you to qualify in all those things. I know my friend who was qualified in IIA, sorry, that is in Bangalore. He was in from BTech. Okay, from BTech he joined PhD, direct PhD. So for that he took lots of courage, because the thing is that from BTech to PhD it is difficult. But the thing is that when you follow some passion, so you'll feel like, okay, this is the thing. Astrophysics is something like many people will get excited, and there are lots of trending topics now. Just now I think I've heard about the news about that some star or something new, something is there. So you read about that there, binary stars are there, neutron stars are there, what is the Big Bang theory. You read all those things. You stay in your line. It is one of the trending topics, and you should follow your dream.
Yes, sir, but which entrance is more helpful, IIT
Uh,
JAM or JEST?
JAM is, I said na, JAM is for IITs. Okay. So in IITs there are cosmology department in IIT Madras is there, but in IIT Bombay or IIT Delhi, I think they have no IIT Delhi they have astrophysics. Okay. So JAM once you clear, you will go through all those IITs like IIT Bombay, Delhi, all those things. JAM is the basic one for I mean astrophysics. Next you have to qualify for PhDs through GATE or NET. Most probably you try for NET because in some astrophysics institute they don't have funding, institute funding. So you try for I mean NET or JEST. JEST is good for that because if there are research institute, they will only take through JEST. So JEST is good in for that. So the path, your path will be like this: JAM, IITs or in IITs or any institutes, then IITs to any astrophysics research institute.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Is anyone? Is there anyone who has any queries? Okay, guys, have you noticed? He is in lab right now. That means in weekend also he is in lab. So there is no day or night for him just because he
One
loves
thing,
physics. Just because he loves physics, nothing else. And thank you, Raghunath, for suggesting a lot of approaches and strategies for to crack the best entrances also. And the student must be benefited for this session. And I think you also give us your best crucial time, and thank you for it. Now, guys, I'm
I think Abhishek wants to ask something.
yes, Abhishek, please ask.
Pranam sir.
Okay, Pranam.
Sir, I want to be a lecturer in future. Like I love to teach. But
Yeah.
I also have a passion for high energy
So,
physics, and I want to do a doctorate in it.
okay.
So you told me that in Institute of Physics, the BSI can be a good opportunity. So I want to know that how can I apply there or can reach there for my PhD.
Oh, okay. So basically, see, when there is lectureship, this environment means lot teaching. The thing is that you can do also after that PhD because PhD will also allow you for assistant professor. Okay, so that involves also teaching. So you don't need to worry about the lecture and all. That is one way path. So once you follow the high-energy physics, so high-energy physics is basically there are more collaboration work than compared to individual work. So there are lots of good institutes in for energy physics in Bhubaneswar itself. What is that? IUP, Institute of Physics. It's very good in energy physics. Niger is there. That is under control of DAE, that is the Department of Atomic Energy. So Niger is there. IOP, Niger, and one more is good, IIT Indore. So there is one professor, I'll tell his name. That his name is Raghunath Sahu. You can search Raghunath Sahu IIT Indore. He is one of the very good professors. You target, I mean, it is your BSCS, but you target, I mean, for him, he's doing wonders. I mean, his papers are good, coming good. He's following his trains and all. So your process will be same like this: BSc, JAM, get through JAM or any other institutes. Apply for Utkal University because in Utkal there are very good professors in high institutes. They will guide you properly. So Utkal, if not IITs, then Utkal. It should be your first choice. If IIT is there, there are very good professors all here. You can do MSc plus project. Okay, 1 year project in high physics. So when you do 1 year project, you can convert immediately after that. So there is a scope, very good scope for you to convert your MSc into PhD after 1 year. So you follow that because you will save one precious year in that. So by doing your PhD and doing your project, you will do also your work in PhD. So that will finish in 1 year. So I think I will suggest one thing that you go like this: JAM, then IITs, you go there, IITs, then do their MSc 1 year, then do their project 1 year high energy physics, then convert that into PhD, that will be good for you. And I see lots of bright aspects in hand physics, lots of things because CERN is, I think CERN is now going to conduct one more experiment in 2023. So it is going to be very, very massive experiment and lots of data is coming. Mostly I'll tell you what is the life of a hand physicist because I've seen my friends there. Mostly it involves data analysis. So when you are going to be high in physics, you have to very good in computing. You have to, you have to learn a lot of programming. I'll tell one C, Java, Python, C, minimum C. C, you start with C, C plus, then Python. Three things you study now itself. So I want to follow now itself because they, in what happens in that, they will they will call you immediately because even if you don't do good in interview, if you have that experience in programming, they'll immediately call you. So I tell everyone, those who are targeting particular topics from now, start preparing for them because it is not. I faced a lot of difficulty there. So you start to once you start preparing from your MBCS, so what will happen? You will get you will get eventually. So start learning the programming. Programming is very important. If you start learning that.
Sir, still it is necessary to learn programming and all.
Yes, it is learn. It is for ING physics you have to learn because it involves lots of data analysis.
Okay, sir. Sir,
It's not,
like
see, the thing is that nowadays you feel that programming is very, very tough and all. You start
Yeah.
easy. From the beginning you start. The thing is that lots of PhD guys will also struggle in there. It's not new. Once you get through, it will get. But the thing is that you have to start. You have to be little brave. Okay, these things you have to brave because it involves something certain amount of time. You have to give that time. Not now. I'm telling in your during your MSc days you start.
yes, sir. Sir, while you are preparing for all these competitions and national level competitions, like you said, TIFR, NET, GATE, they have almost in BSc they have a different kind of syllabus and also their marking scheme and question level are quite different. So, what will be better to focus at, one exam at a time or a different kind of exams at a
No,
time?
when you prepare, you have to prepare for everything, right? That is one thing there. When there is individual entrances are involved, let's say you are targeting a particular entrance. Let's say you are targeting for JAM or only JAM. So you see the pattern first. What is the pattern they are giving there for past 2 3 years or 7 years? You see that. You start preparing for that. Let's say you are going for PIFR or BARC or anything. BARC will be completely different than any other entrances. It will be because this comes under a different category. So TIFR it is difficult, but you start preparing when you start but the basic will be same, but the different problems set will be different. Like let's say one question was there. Like let's say in TIFR they will ask like in JAM they will ask like let's say calculate the average energy. Okay, so they will in TIFR they will ask like this average energy per particle or like that. So it will be little different, not so different. I don't think so. It will be little different, but different strategy you have to apply there also. You have to target what is the mark you want, what is the cutoff you want. Then once you target, it will be easy for
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
you. Yeah.
Is there any questions, guys? Does anyone have any queries? Okay, then I am quitting the session. Thank you, Raghunath, for your best suggestion to the students, and thank you guys
Yeah.
for joining it.
Thank you for inviting. It was a pleasure to see all of you.
We
I
may
hope you
disturb
meet
you
soon.
anytime.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a nice day.